Hello everyone and welcome to today's web seminar, 15 Search Marketing Hacks, presented by NetElixir University, our research arm of NetElixir. I am your host, Kelly Rafowski. Before we begin the presentation, I have a few housekeeping notes for you. You are currently in the listen-only mode. If you experience any technical difficulties during the webinar, click on Help at the top of your console. That will connect you directly with GoToWebinar Help Desk. Also, this is an interactive session, so feel free to type any questions you have into the question box at the bottom of your console. Then we'll get to those questions during the Q&A portion at the end of this session. I would like to mention that today's presentation is being recorded, so it will be available for future playback. Make sure you stick around to the end of the webinar as we have a special announcement for all of today's attendees. And lastly, we would love to hear from you, so feel free to tweet us at NetElixir and use the hashtag SEM Hacks. So before you tweet us, we want to get to know who you are. We have a quick poll to better understand your experience implementing search marketing hacks and tactics. So right now, I'm going to go through and pull up the poll, so I'll give you a few minutes to answer. So the question is, on a scale of newbie to rock star, how do you rate your search hack skills? Just a few more seconds. Three, two, one. All right, I'm going to close the poll so we can see the results. All right, so it looks like we've got some rookies on the call today, so that's great. We'll teach you some tactics you can use. And some managers and some superstars, I think you'll still be able to get some use out of today's presentation. So now I'll give you a quick overview about who we are. For over 10 years, NetElixir has delivered proven search marketing strategies which uncover actionable insights that companies can use to grow their business online. From pet supplies to hotels and even computers, we work with leading B2B and B2C brands in every retail sector. With a growing team of 90+ fanatically analytical search marketers operating in 3 countries, we know that no two businesses are the same, and neither are the campaigns we build for our clients. Our expertise and proprietary technology work beyond just numbers and clicks to help you understand not only how to reach your customers, but who your customers really are and what drives them to click in the first place. By humanizing every click, we work side by side with our clients to create successful online marketing strategies that deliver real results. Now, onto our main event. Let me introduce you to our 3 experts who have been essential in providing hacks and tactics to our clients over the years. Manish is our Client Insights Manager, Anthony is our Client Partnership Manager, and we have Sean, who is our Director of SEO. Now, before I pass it over to our team here, we have another poll for you all. As we near almost a month into 2016, what are some challenges you are facing this year? You can pick all that apply. So is it budget? Is it hours in the day? Is it expertise? Is it ROI or customer insights? Or it can be all of the above. All right, just give you a few more seconds here. All right, close it. Let me share this with you guys. All right, so now that I showed you the answers, looks like customer insights will be a big obstacle for most of you this year, with ROI as a very close second. It's very interesting. So let's agree that 2016 will be a big year for search marketing, which is why our experts are here to bring you tactics that you can start implementing right away. So what exactly is a search marketing hack? Search marketing hack is a no-nonsense technique which combines creativity, analytical thinking, technology, and relentless testing to drive an exponential search performance boost. So now that you have a brief understanding of what a hack is, I'll pass the presenting over to Manish as he runs through the first few paid search hacks.
Thanks, Kelly. Every hack that we discuss today will have a specific objective. It might help you boost your conversion rates, it might help you acquire new customers, or it might also help you drive better efficiency for all your search marketing campaigns. The first hack that we have today is something that lets you think beyond cookies. As online retailers, we have been dependent on cookies all these years. Now, here is a feature from Google that lets us ignore cookies for a while and depend on something called as customer match that helps us store customer information over a long period of time. How does this work? Customer match is nothing but a set of email IDs that you have at your end from your past customers, from your signups, people who are interested in your subscription. So you store these email IDs with you and then segment it in a lot of smart ways. You could have customers who have been buying during a specific time of the year. You may have customers who have a very high repeat purchase frequency, or you may have customers who typically end up buying high value items. Now, the fact that you have their email IDs lets you dissect the data as you want, push it back into AdWords, and now the next time these customers are on search and are shopping for something that you have to offer, you have the ability to qualify them and prioritize them. They may be on a different device, they may be in a different location, they may not be even on the same search engine. The fact is that as long as they're signed in to their email accounts, you have the ability to target them separately compared to all the other customers you have. Now, every hack that we discuss here is not just a concept. It's something that we have tried out in one of our active accounts. And this feature was recently implemented in one of the gifting clients that we have, wherein we had a list of all the consumers from Christmas 2014, and assuming that they never came back after Christmas 2014 till December 2015, we decided to target them with a higher priority compared to all the other new visitors we had. And the results are here to speak. We had a conversion rate which was 300% higher than the average conversion rate for the entire account. And even more interesting is that the entire cost per order that we spent to acquire these customers was 71% lower than the average CPO for the entire account. The reason was, since we knew these customers have been to us before, they knew us, we decided to target them on relevant long tail searches. So we saved a lot of marketing budget there and ended up spending them on these qualified customers. The next hack that we have is more so oriented towards improving the efficiency of your existing search campaigns. Now, every online retailer out there caters to a specific consumer group, right? You may be in the business of selling something very expensive. You might be catering something that is, does not really depend on the income level of your consumer, or you might be catering to the far low end of the spectrum where you're selling something very cheap. Now, this hack is very useful for someone who is at the extreme ends of the price spectrum, for someone who is selling something that is very expensive or selling something that is very cheap. How do we use that? Instead of targeting all the consumers out there across the board, know your customers first. And if you're selling something that is very expensive, let's say you're in the business of bathroom equipments, especially premium bathroom equipments, wherein any average order value will be upwards of, let's say, $1,000. It doesn't make any sense targeting people who can't even afford that. So now AdWords lets you target consumers across these different income brackets. You have, I believe that you have 5 different brackets here: top 10%, 11 to 20%, and all the way up to lower 50%. Depending on the price range that you play in, decide on the specific targeted customer that you want to go after. Again, we did this for one of our existing premium cookware clients. The results were phenomenal in that the top 10% income category had a conversion rate which was 48% higher than the rest. So it goes without saying that the ROI that you got on this particular segment was much better. And the fact that we decided to move out of the other income brackets definitely ensures that the entire marketing budget is put to good use. The previous two hacks that we discussed were something that used an existing feature in Google. The one that we're about to discuss is something that even Google does not have a solution to as of today. They're working on this, and let's say in the next 12 months, they may have a setting that caters to this. Every account has a particular time zone, right? So depending on where your business is focused or where your headquarters are, you tend to set up the account in that particular time zone. And it goes without saying that every other setting that you do in the account, it could be day parting, it could be scheduling, will also follow the same time zone. Let me explain that with an example. Let's say the account has been set up in a Pacific time zone, and based on the historic data, you've seen that consumers tend to convert far less in the time between 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Understandably, those are early morning hours, not a great time for online retail. Perfect. What we do is have a negative bid adjustment during those hours for all the campaigns. It definitely helps us drive efficiency. You save a lot of marketing budget during those hours of the day. But while you do this, what also happens is that you're unknowingly controlling the coverage on some other locations. So when, let's say you have a negative 20% bid between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. It works perfectly fine on the West Coast. What also happens is you're actually lowering the coverage for all your ads in a place like New York between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., which might actually be a great hour of the day for New York customers. Hence, the current settings in Google do not allow you to map an account time zone and ad schedules. What we came up with was a temporary fix to override this particular setting. And the way you do that is by adding specific locations that are outside your regular time zone onto your campaigns. Let's say in this case, you add New York as an added geography for all the campaigns. And during the specific hours between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. in New York, include a positive bid modifier, especially for New York. So it will help you override the negative bid adjustment that is existing for the West Coast customers, helps you save some dollars there, and also ensures that you do not end up ignoring customers on the East Coast. This can be done manually for an account which is probably of a smaller size, but for the bigger accounts, you do have several AdWords scripts available, some bit of coding, and you should be able to automate this across any number of campaigns that you have in the account. The next hack that we have is pretty much similar to the first one. We did speak about seasonal customers. A lot of businesses are revolving around specific events. It might be Father's Day, it might be Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. A lot of us are into gifting. Now, what this also means is that you have a set of consumers who are are probable to be coming back to your site and shopping with you around these specific occasions. What that means is when you have a specific occasion going on, let's say Mother's Day as an example, you have a dedicated landing page on your website which has all the Mother's Day related products. You have a lot of customers coming to the web page. Some of them convert, some of them do not. Start having an audience pool which targets all these customers. And probably once Mother's Day is over, you'll definitely, you may not even have this page on the website. But what you have done is captured all the customers who came to that page, stored them in a cookie, increase the cookie lifetime to over a year's time, which means next year for the same occasion, when you expect these people to come back and shop for the same occasion, you will be able to identify them. The general cookies are set to 90 days duration, which of course does not suffice here. So all that you need to do is increase the cookie period and create audience lists around any occasion which is important to your business. The next hack is, I think, of highest interest because it talks about Google Shopping, and I'm sure we all agree that Google Shopping has been the most prominent channel when it comes to search marketing, at least over the last 12 to 14 months. If you end up treating Google Shopping just like any other campaign, you might be focusing on some high-level ROI metrics. You might have a CPO target for the account. You might have a revenue over spend target for the account, which may be good to a certain extent to monitor your campaign performance. But when it comes to shopping, because of the fact that the competition is extremely high, you're talking about retailers fighting out for 8 to probably even more than 8 spots on the search page. There are 4 other competitive metrics that Google offers that helps you analyze as to where you stand when it comes to what others are doing on shopping and take a call on that. The 4 metrics are click share, impression share, benchmark CPC, and benchmark CTR. By click share and impression share, what you're trying to find out is if you are getting 100 clicks a day for your shopping campaign, it probably is just 10% of the entire click share available out there. Probably due to a low budget or due to the kind of bids you have, you're actually losing out on 90% of the market, which is out there, which is interested in the product that you have to offer, but you're just not tapping them. Same goes to impression share. It's probably a lot more to do with there are opportunities out there to advertise on the shopping platform, but because of a lower budget, you are not even showing up there. The next 2 metrics you have are benchmark CPC and benchmark CTR, which is directly related to the competition out there. Benchmark CPC kind of tells you if your bids are good enough when it comes to the entire competitive landscape. Let's say you're bidding $1 for a particular product group, and the benchmark CPC is way over $2, which means that at the end of the day, you will end up getting a lower click share and a lower impression share. Benchmark CTR could be more of an analysis of how good your product listing ads are. You may have a good benchmark CPC, but if your ads don't look great, your product images are not so great, your descriptions, your product titles, your product prices are not competitive enough, you may end up getting a click-through rate which is much lower than what your competitors are already getting. These 4 metrics, if factored in along with the high-level ROI metrics, will definitely help you ramp up your shopping campaigns and improve the impression share that you are getting from your shopping campaigns today. With that, I'll invite Anthony to take you through the other hacks that we have.
Thank you, Manish. Next up is hack number 6 for SEM is the single keyword ad group. So for this hack, so we're focusing on the single keyword ad group. So what does that do exactly? It helps increase keyword relevancy and thereby the keyword quality score. So if you see on the left-hand side there, the ad is going to have in the headline, the keyword is going to be in the headline. Description line 1 and 2 are going to talk about the benefits of that particular keyword, and then we're going to add the keyword again in the display URL. So in this example, we're looking at the keyword being web analytics. So on how to implement that, it's going to include 4 steps. The first one being include a broad match modifier, or phrase match and exact match. The ones being there, the broad match modifier indicated by the plus next to web and the plus next to analytics. Phrase is going to be the web analytics in quotations, and then the exact match is going to be in the brackets. And then just simply follow the next 3 steps. Very easy. Include it in the copy of the in the headline. Include your keyword in the display URL, and then of course we want to use a relevant landing page that is targeting these keywords that we're adding in as a single keyword ad group. Again, it's no secret that Google wants ads to be clicked on. That's how they generate revenue. So again, this concept of quality score, the more targeted your ads are, the better quality score you're going to get. Google's going to reward you with a better quality score and a lower cost per click to get that ad clicked on. So it's something that you really want to take advantage of. Use another example like laptops. Catch somebody early in their search in the purchase funnel. So this is somebody typing in just laptops. They're probably browsing maybe different brands, different pricing. So adding laptops throughout your ad copy is going to help increase that quality score, and you capture a potential customer early on in their purchase process. Moving on to our number 7 hack, the bid adjustment formula for mobile search marketing campaigns. This is an exciting hack. I think it's exciting because it involves math, which is what we're all about here at NetElixir. And again, it's a very simple equation. So with Google Enhanced Campaigns, they have the ability to apply bid adjustments at the device level. In this case, we want to target for mobile campaigns. Very, very simple formula. We take our key performance indicator or KPI metric on mobile, divide it by our KPI metric of the total. So in this case, it would be desktop and tablet, minus 1 times 100. That will give us our adjustment that we need to make to target more on mobile devices. Just some statistics on mobile devices. In 2012, 24% searched on mobile devices. Compare that to 47% in 2015. So there's no question. I mean, there's a mobile search phenomenon happening, and using this bid metric will allow you to take advantage of that mobile phenomenon without losing anything on your desktop bid adjustments. So it's a very, very effective tool. One important thing to remember is, which sort of goes without saying, really for all these hacks related to pay-per-click, it involves a quality site. So if we're talking about mobile here, we need to make sure that your site is set up for mobile and it's in good shape. Otherwise, you're not going to get as much out of the bid adjustments that you're going to want to. So keep that in mind as you're working on these hacks. Moving on to number 8, hack number 8, run profitable shopping campaigns by classifying products into the BCG framework. So this will take us back to Marketing 101 if we all remember the marketing grid here. Basically, it's dividing it into your cash cows, your star products, your laggard products, and then of course your question marks that could go either way. So basically it sounds very simple, but you'd be surprised, a lot of marketers don't take advantage of this simple concept. Simply setting up custom labels that will allow you to segregate your products into these 4 categories. So we want to group them into these 4 buckets. Of course, we want to allocate the maximum budget to the star products and have certain bid adjustments to make sure that we're always pushing these star products. Bid adjustments are critical here because if they're a star product for you, chances are they're a star product for your competitor. So we want to make sure that as potential bids go up because it's a competitive product, you want to make sure that you're staying right there within the market and increasing your bids so that your customers can find your star products. And then again, of course, on the flip side of that, having this grid and being able to see it on a daily basis to see what products are performing well and which aren't. If you don't have this mapped out, you can't see those products that are costing you money. And again, they're not just costing you money. They're also costing you some opportunity costs to take that budget that's being wasted on these laggard products and repositioning that, repurposing that to your star products. So very, very important to segregate your products into these 4 categories so that your budget for the account is being allocated appropriately and you're making the most efficient use of that budget. Moving on to SEO hack or SEM hack number 9. Drive up click-through rates using Bing Actions link ad extensions. Sort of a mouthful, very simple concept, very easy concept. So essentially what you're looking at here is it's a call to action being introduced into your ad. It's a very, very cool way to increase your click-through rate. As you can see here, up to about 30% or greater. So what causes that to happen? So 2 things. One, it's a quick call to action. It's visible directly in your ad, allows the customers on a mobile device or a desktop site. But I think one of the things that stands out here is the fact that you can pick the different action types according to your industry. So in this case, for an airline, it makes sense to say book a flight. If you're a restaurant, book a table. If you're a car dealership, rent a car, buy a car. For just general products, you can do buy now. If you're looking, you might have an ad campaign that wants to bring people to your site. You can do contact us, log in. So there's a lot of different things that you can use with it. I think one of the biggest things that this allows is for you to help capture those, in the industry and advertisers call them micro moments. So grab people in that buying process. So when they're ready to book a table, show them a link, a direct call to action where they can in fact book a table. So and there's no question as to why that increases click-through rate by 30%. Being directly engaged with your customers and giving them the information they need right from the ad is very, very, very important. And wrapping up here for hack number 10 is ad customizers for localizing ad messaging. So what this basically means is, obviously, if you're selling online, you might have brick and mortar stores and locations throughout the country. So this sort of goes with what I was talking about, the micro moments before, and also, bring it all together, the mobile searches as well. So you might have someone that's searching on their mobile phone that says shoes for sale near me, or shoe stores near me. In this case, we can then target based on where that customer is searching from. So we're based in Princeton, so if I search shoe stores near me, I'm going to get 20% off shoes at our Princeton store. So it's going to put me, it's going to put in front of me as a customer the information that best matches my geographic location. So it's crucial for if you sell products in different cities and multiple store locations. Ad customizers to estimate shipping to a searcher specific location. Customizers can target that location and serve a custom ships in X number of days, and that's helpful so that the customer can know when, based on where they're at, when they can get their product. And it's at the end of the day, it's about making the customer happy. It's presenting them information at the best time in their purchasing process in that micro moment, and making things easy for them, telling them when it's going to ship, showing them a store that's located near them. And this all can be done very simply right in from your own AdWords campaign. So that covers it for me. I think we have a poll question coming up, so I will turn it back to Kelly to go through the poll question.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. Those were some pretty exciting hacks, right? So before I move on and pass it over to Sean, we have one final poll for you all. What is your digital marketing focus for 2016? Is it acquiring customers through paid search, acquiring customers through SEO, acquiring customers through various marketplaces, engaging your audience through social media, or tracking and optimizing the conversion path? Give you just a few more seconds here. All right. Okay, I'm going to close the poll and share it with you so you can see the results. Okay, so it looks like acquiring customers through SEO is number 1. And then we've got a tie for acquiring through paid search and tracking and optimizing the conversion path. Well, everyone, you are in luck because Sean is now going to take you through the rest of the hacks that are typical of SEO.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly. Very happy to share these with you, and kudos to Anthony and Manish before me. Even just sitting here going through this information and hearing it again just really gets the creative juices flowing. So thank you guys. But without any further ado, we're going to go into the SEO hacks now. So this is obviously a pretty bold statement. Rank organically for more keywords. Really what we wanted to focus on was taking advantage of some of the changes that have been recently happening in Google. And really what you can do to naturally rank for more keywords is to take advantage of RankBrain, specifically as an algorithm update. We have a picture of an ice cream sundae here on the screen, and no, we didn't go crazy when putting these slides together. What I want everybody to think about is, if you were to write an article or a piece of content on your website and you wanted to rank on Google organically in the traditional sense, you would just write ice cream sundae a couple times within that content. But really what we wanted to introduce was the concept of LSI, which is short for latent semantic indexing. And the way that this helps us be ready for RankBrain and rank organically for more keywords is by introducing things from a topical standpoint rather than just from a keyword standpoint. So my prediction is that we're soon going to see the concept of keywords kind of go into the back burner and into the background, and we're going to be looking more from the perspective of a topic rather than a keyword. So think about writing that piece of content about an ice cream sundae. You know, if we were in the old sense just going to be writing ice cream sundae, ice cream sundae, ice cream sundae, the new approach that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to talk about chocolate or strawberry syrup. We're going to want to talk about fruit. We're going to want to talk about heavy cream. We're going to want to talk about toppings rather than just the repetitive sense of the keyword over and over again. So the hack really is focused around taking a step back, and when you go to rewrite your content to appeal to RankBrain or the recent Panda update where that was added to the core algorithm, the hack is to take an extra 5 seconds and think about other things that you can talk about within your content, and that will naturally help you rank for more keywords on one set of content. Hack number 12, improve duplicate content within 5 minutes. Again, a pretty bold statement, but there's a pretty easy technical adjustment that can be made within your website that is going to help Google understand when you have duplicate content and how they can adjust to it. And that is the rel canonical tag. This is a quick way of giving ownership of content to one specific page. So the example that we have on the screen here is example.com/Rolex watches and www.example.com/Rolex watches. This could also be expanded into if you had multiple pages of Rolex watches. So Rolex watches page 1, Rolex watches page 2, Rolex watches page 3. As you go from page to page to page in that sequence, there's obviously not going to be much of a content change between each of those. And as smart as Google is, this is something that they get tripped up on. So even though you know that there are different products, the physical content remains the same across all 5, let's say, Rolex pages that you have. The rel canonical tag is going to be a way that you can implement a clear indicator to Google that says, hey, we understand and we know that all of these pages have similar or the same content, but they are all linked together. So essentially what you would do is, as you're implementing this tag, in the example that we have off to the right here that I'm circling with my mouse, essentially what you would do is you would put the first page on there, and then that essentially gives ownership of the content for all 5 of the pages to that first page. So it's a real quick way that you can get this implemented and then clear up duplicate content rather than writing brand new content for each page. Now, it is worth noting that in an e-commerce environment, this is of course it's something that we encounter on a regular basis. But Google does understand that duplicate content is existing. However, just having this one little thing of fine-tuning is going to help it, and it's going to go a long way with presenting a clearer picture to Google. Okay, hack number 13, improving your mobile usability using Search Console. As Anthony had mentioned in hack number 7, it is definitely a mobile world. We have to do everything that we can to make sure that we are prepared for the fact that there are more searches taking place on mobile devices. Fortunately for us, Google makes this very easy right in Search Console. We can see that in the panel to the left, there is a tab that says Mobile Usability, and then Google explicitly outlines what they see as problems within your mobile search presence, or mobile web presence rather. So the fact that they outline these things is kind of an inadvertent hack in the eyes of Google, that they are essentially giving you the keys to how you can perform better within Google by using the advice that they are giving to you. So basically what you can do, it's usually quick suggestions, touch elements too close, content not sized to viewport. You'll also see font too small, so you can make those adjustments and have a better user experience. And then all that you have to do is just recheck with Google over time, and then all of that you should see be corrected over time. Also, just recently, within the last couple days, Google started introducing the accelerated mobile pages feature. So that warning is outlined at the bottom here, and it's really interesting and exciting to see, because what Google is doing is that they are actually giving you examples of cleaned up HTML that you can implement on your website, and it will help improve your mobile performance overall. Okay, hack number 14. Get more clicks on a mobile device with new page titles. And it actually goes even further than just getting more clicks. It's actually going to help you with your rankings overall. Once again, as Anthony had mentioned, we are moving into a world where there is more there are more searches taking place on mobile devices. So if you think from a mobile first perspective, you're actually going to have a better performance overall. We are seeing that in a lot of cases, some of the best page titles and the best performing pages have between 40 and 45 characters. If you exceed that number on mobile devices, especially if your website is responsive, where you're serving the same page for both desktop and mobile searches, you'll see that your page title will break into multiple lines, which is okay. However, just understand that you're going to be able to get a clearer picture to your end user by using a shorter page title, and that in turn will lead to a higher click-through rate, because the messaging will be more concise. Plus, there is also some early indicators that by having a more mobile-friendly page title, that you have a better performance overall. And hack number 15. This is an oldie but a goodie. It still is a tried and true hack that will help increase your crawl rate, and that is, of course, internal links. I think the illustration that we have on the screen now is a very clear way of showing how impactful internal linking can be. So Google, we know, has just a few functions as far as the search engine goes. Getting the crawlers through page to page to page is, of course, the job of SEO, and better crawling leads to better results. One way that you can quickly get a better crawl on your website is by introducing internal links. What I would like everyone to think about is Wikipedia. Just think about how Wikipedia structures themselves, and how all of the pages and articles on Wikipedia, they all link together, and you could I like to call it the Wikipedia journey. It's user friendly. The end user gets wrapped up in that Wikipedia journey. 2 hours later, they find themselves completely nowhere near where they started. You want to create something like that on your website, where you have people reading more content, getting to know your brand a little bit better, but it's also, the intrinsic value is also in having Google go from page to page on your website as well, and they're able to cache and index more content. Plus, you also are able to strengthen one page to another. So there's the crawl value, but also if you have a category page that is very strong, what you can do is pass some of the value of that page onto the next page in sequence, and that is going to travel through with Google's crawl. So those were the 5 SEO hacks, and that actually wraps us up with the 15 SEM hacks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Kelly.
Thank you, Sean. At this time, I want to open up the floor for any questions. So if you have any, please type your questions into the question box located at the bottom of the webinar window. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can, and for those questions we don't answer, we'll be answering them via email after the webinar. All right, so I have quite a few coming in. All right, let me start off with this one here. Sean, this looks like it's directed towards you. Should I apply the rules of LSI to my page title or keep it brief?
That is a great question. So what this is referring to is the fact that, yes, so it's kind of a two-sided sword of, you have the want that you need to have a shorter page title, but also there's the concept of introducing more keywords here, right? So what I would suggest is use that 40 to 45, maybe 50 characters, absolute max. Use that as your benchmark, and if you can introduce a concept that is beyond just the basic scope of your website, I'm sorry, of the what you're looking to target on that page outside of a basic keyword, go ahead and introduce it if it will fit. However, the main thing is just making sure that you are sticking to the core of what you want to be optimized for, of what your core product is.
Great, thank you, Sean. Great question. Next one looks like it could be for Manish. So, how important is Google Analytics to setting up remarketing campaigns?
Right. So I think with all that is happening on the remarketing front, and Google letting us target customers using their email, I think Google Analytics definitely adds a lot of variety to the way in which the list can be built. The fact that Analytics lets you target customers based on the extent of engagement they had with your website is very different from the old school thought of having them purely driven by the specific URLs. So that is definitely a powerful way of targeting customers based on the engagement now. As an example, I think if you have customers who generally drop off from the home page versus a set of customers who go all the way to the product page, definitely shows a high level of engagement for the latter group, and they definitely can be prioritized differently when they're back on search.
Okay, great. Thank you. And next question we have, how much of my budget should be allocated to mobile versus desktop? And what is the ideal targeted allocations?
Right. It definitely varies from one industry to another. Industries like apparel and home fittings, wherein conversions through mobile at end of the funnel are a lot more. You may have anywhere between 10 to 15% of your budget going to mobile. But industries where there is customization involved and custom products involved, you could have lower mobile budgets, anywhere less than 5%, essentially in order to help customers research for your product and then come back and convert through desktop or a laptop.
Great question. All right, so it looks like we have time for one more question. Thanks, Sean. You can take this one. What are other ways we can optimize for rank brain?
Oh, that's a good one. So rank brain is, of course, just to set the stage here. Rank brain was Google's attempt at breaking into the world of artificial intelligence. So content is definitely going to be a way of helping Google connect the dots and start to make decisions for the end user. Some other ways that you can go about this would be introducing things like structured data. I'm personally a big fan of schema.org. Introducing more concepts through that will definitely help you introduce more content to Google in a language that Google understands. And then also we're toying with the idea of having a social presence and things that are talked about there, and how the links from that area are related to your content on your website as an overall boost too. That's something that we are testing. But yeah, overall, making sure that things are ready in a language that Google can understand will help you go a long way. And then also just making sure that your content is well optimized using LSI are going to be the first two steps I would take.
Great. Thanks so much, Sean. So that's about all the time we have for Q&A today. So as we wrap up today's webinar, we wanted to introduce you to NetElixir University. I see some of our members are on today's webinar, but we'd love all of you to join our LinkedIn group and participate in engaging discussions with leading executives and academia from various Ivy League universities. And new for 2016, we have just launched our new university book club. Every month, our CEO, Udayan Bose, will be reviewing a book of his choosing. If you want to hear the latest review, feel free to check out our page now. And finally, our last announcement is we will be publishing all of these hacks and more in our Search Marketing Playbook. This will be released the first week of February. So if you're interested in receiving this, please email us at university@netelixir.com with the subject line, I want my 2016 SEM Playbook. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to write to us directly at university@netelixir.com or send them to me at kelly@netelixir.com, and we will respond to your questions as quickly as possible. So I'd like to thank all of our speakers, Manish, Anthony, and Sean. Also, a special thanks goes out to you all, the audience, for spending the last hour with us. So have a great day and a wonderful 2016. We hope to see you at our next event.